Hey everyone, it's Beau Benjamin with Beau Benjamin Realty Group powered by EXP, and we're so excited today because we are talking about how are the tax assessments made. All right, let's jump straight into it. So how are tax assessments made, and what can I do if I feel mine are too high? So this is a popular topic because a lot of people's tax assessments are coming in the mail and a lot of them have went up. And this shouldn't be a huge surprise because we know our property values have been going up over the past 2 years, especially here in central Indiana, sometimes to the clip of 20% year over year. So when the property values go up, the tax assessed value go up. That's going to be common and expected because our taxes, our infrastructure and stuff like that are paid through the taxes, through property taxes in Indiana. So government can't continue to enhance and build new infrastructure without these taxes. So they have to be collected and they have to be in line with the property values so the budget can remain fluid and they can pay for things as expenses go up to pay for services. They have to have more money to pay for road workers and infrastructure like the city plumbing and whatnot. So you get this letter in the mail. It says your property is now assessed at X dollars. A lot of people are surprised by the increase, but most of the time the increase is going to be in line with the property value increase most of the time. So what should you expect? If you want to know the value of your home, please give me a call and I'd be happy to give you a comparable estimate of the value of your home if you decided you wanted to sell it, what it would be worth, what we could expect conservatively to get in the market. That's the best first step. You need to know. A lot of people might go visit one of the real estate websites and see what they say. Mine will be more accurate typically than that, but if you don't want to call me to get an accurate estimate, you can certainly just see what the online websites say. So you start with that. Now the assessment should be in line with that, except there's one big thing that I kind of noticed over my years of doing this. Assessors and tax assessors, the county offices, they don't have this massive staff of people to handle a lot of paperwork, etc. So it becomes pretty common practice that the assessment of your home is going to be a little less than the market value. And here is the common sense reason why. They don't want you to appeal and drive paperwork through their office, okay? It's just common sense. If they come in and they try to pinpoint your price of your property value on the nose and you feel like maybe it wouldn't sell for that much, you're going to get frustrated. You're going to send them an appeal and they're going to have more paperwork, twice the amount of work to do if everyone sends an appeal. So it makes complete sense that they wouldn't try to peg the price of your home on the nose. Now, if you think it's too high, especially in this market, the way the prices have been increasing, that is something to be concerned about. They may have made a mistake, so that you probably need to look into that, and we'll touch on that in a moment. So anyways, let's flip over to just answer that question that we started with. How is it even assessed? So let's jump into that. So we're here on the in.gov website under property tax bills. How is my bill calculated? So you can see they're using a $200,000 home as an example. And as long as you filed for your homestead exemption, you're going to get a big chunk of money off the assessed value of your home. So the one thing that this doesn't answer that we've been talking about is how do they even come up with that $200,000 number? Again, they're going to look at comps similar to what I do, but they're probably going to come in less. Now, I'm going to flip back here because this is important. This is something I've noticed because I'm a data nerd and I like to watch trends. There's no rule, there's no law, there's nothing that says this has to be the case, so don't take it as gospel. However, through all my years of doing comps and looking at property values and assessed values at the same time, market values, so You have market value, which is what we think the market will pay for your house if you put it for sale. And then we have assessed value, which is the tax assessor's value. Most of the time, your assessed value is going to land between 80 and 85% of market value. Okay, that is not a hard, fast rule or law. That is just the trends that I see in the marketplace. Okay, I do this because I comp properties. I want to list properties for the right amount for my clients, and I always check the assessed value, and I kind of see where the assessed value is and where my market estimate is to list a home, and a lot of times it comes in around that number. So we'll see if that keeps up, because it may change with all the assessments coming in higher now. They're trying to keep up with the market. And so we'll see where it comes in over this next few years if that trend stays the same. Let's jump back again. So at this point, that 200,000 is probably roughly that 80-85% of the true market value, what it might sell for on the market. And then they're going to remove your homestead exemptions, which is that 45,000 and 54,000. So now that 100,750 number is what your net assessed value is, not your gross. Your gross was the 200,000, right? So then after net assessed value is obtained, they're going to calculate your tax rate. In Indiana is this 0.709 of every dollar. So they're going to do that multiplication, and your tax bill is $714.32. That's for the year, so it'll be split in 2 payments. And then they also talk about how you can have other tax credits. Mortgage exemption is one that's actually going away in the near future. If it hasn't already, I'd have to check the date that's effective. But there's other tax credits you can look at and look up. They give you a goldenrod yellow sheet of paper at closing that has all of those tax credits on it. If you guys need a copy of that, please shoot me a message. I'd be happy to get that for you. But after you take the credits off, then you're left with whatever else. And then finally, the greatest thing ever in Indiana, because our neighbors to the west in Illinois do not have this, and a lot of states don't, but we are capped at paying 1% of the gross assessed value in property taxes. So if this number were higher than this number, it would be the lower of the capped amount. So this is not higher, so that's going to remain that number. But if it was 2,100, if this number equaled 2,100, then it would have to be reduced to 2,000. Now, the capped number is not capped if there are referendums. So if your township has went to, I don't know all the public policies, so I apologize if I'm not saying something right here, but if we have a local school and they need to build a new elementary school, well, then the township is going to do a referendum meeting, and they're going to ask the town to vote and say, do you want to pay for this? It's needed. And that goes on top of the 1%. So your tax bill can be more than 1% in Indiana, but it's because of those kind of addendums, referendum type deals, where you do have a chance to go speak your opinion and vote within your local government. And again, I don't know all those policies, so I'm not going to speak to them. I just know you have a chance to vote and speak your wishes. But once that vote is done and everything, the process is played out, if it's approved, then your tax bill will be 1% capped at the state level, but then added on with a referendum, etc. So that's why it can be over 1%. Let's talk lastly about what can we do if we want to appeal. So we go on this website here, the in.gov, and we're going to go frequently asked questions, and then we can go to assessment appeals. Assessment appeals right here. That's going to bring you up how you can appeal your tax assessment. If you feel like your assessment is way over or even a little bit over your market value, what you could sell it for, and that's what they say right here. So the assessed value should reflect an amount a willing buyer would be paying for the property at the time of the assessment. that is the test, right? So they're gonna go in and they're kind of gonna do their comps, but again, my opinion is they're gonna try to stay in that 80-85% range because they do not want appeals. It's just a lot of extra time and paperwork. If you want to though, because you think yours is higher than what you could sell it for, then you can go through this process. You can print off these forms and you can do an appeal, and it tells you all about the process in this document, so you could follow it along and potentially get your assessment reduced, which would reduce your property tax bill and make it cheaper for you. The last thing I will say, property taxes are typically escrowed, okay? So a lot of people may be thinking, I got the assessment, I don't know how this affects me. So the property taxes typically are paid within our mortgage. So a mortgage payment consists of PITI, is a common acronym that some people may know, but it's PITI. That stands for principal, interest, taxes, property taxes, which is what this video is about, and insurance, hazard insurance. So principal interest goes to the bank. All right, you're paying down your loan, you're paying the bank interest. Property taxes goes to the state, and that's what we're talking about in this video. And insurance is hazard insurance. Typically, the taxes and insurance, the last two parts of the acronym, are paid by the escrow account through your mortgage. So you're paying your mortgage payment every month, and you may not even realize that part of that is going to an escrow account, which will then pay your taxes at the time when they come due. And some people ask me why that is, and essentially it's because the banks don't trust many people and they don't want to be in a situation where they lose money. Banks don't like to lose money, so whenever you owe a mortgage and they have the deed to your home or a mortgage note on your home, they're going to say you have to escrow because we don't want to rely or trust on all these people that we have mortgages with to pay their taxes and insurance. Think about this. If you don't pay your property taxes, the state will confiscate your home and sell it at a sheriff's sale if you get too far behind on your property taxes. And they will do that despite whether the bank has a loan on the property or not. So banks are saying, oh, they can jump ahead of me in line to receive money. We'll go ahead and pay that bill so we know it's paid, and that way no one can be ahead of us as far as like taking the property back. Secondly, hazard insurance, same thing. If you don't pay your insurance, tornado comes through Indiana, wipes out your house, that's devastating. I'm sorry to speak so lightly of it, but for this conversation, again, you would probably stop paying your payments, your mortgage payment, because you don't have a house to live in, and if you didn't have insurance, it's not getting rebuilt, which means now the bank's out a lot of money and they don't have an asset to foreclose on. All right, so they're like, yep, we're not going to let you do that either. We'll go ahead and pay that hazard insurance bill for you. That way we know that that asset is protected and we can foreclose on it if need be to receive our money back. So that's why taxes and insurance are escrowed. If you didn't know that, that kind of wraps up our video for today. I hope this was helpful. I hope that you understand now why your assessment is going up, because it is kind of correlatively in line with market values. And if you have any other questions about it, happy to have a discussion. Just give us a call and we'll be happy to walk through things with your personal situation. And if you like this video and it's informative, please like and subscribe to the channel so we can keep delivering these videos to you. We're so excited to talk to you. Please comment and feel free to reach out. Thank you so much and have a good one. See you next time.